Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon. We are still on our first tour through Edith. And the last district we need to visit is Trion Tower
Time to depart.
now. For quests and everything. That is what we are currently concentrating on. Looks like they're putting on some kind of show. The recent excitement of the space program has them holding more events than ever before now. Though that even subcultures like idols have been getting a bigger share of the spotlight. Oh, sounds like fun. It does catch my interest. But what's really on my mind is how business and foreign countries are reacting to things. Well, there's a handful of places here where we can follow up on those fronts. Vern Store, Vallis Investment Bank, the Liberal Boutique, for example. Let's add them to the list and take a lap around. Might be smart to peek at whatever's happening on stage, too.
Oh, they're hosting an event about the space program. As an aspiring astronomer, I can't help but get a little misty-eyed. Outer space is finally within our grasp.
I suppose that's one boon we can attribute to the project.
A movie theater, affordable clothing retailers, and other various boutiques to peruse.
Good goddess, I can't even see the top.
I'll consider nice and all, but personally the one I'm burning to see is Mishi. Speaking of, she should be making an appearance over in the Cinema Share right about now. She's a self-proclaimed hardcore Michelinite. I keep impeccable track of her schedule down to the second. If only I could have gotten the day off to go and watch. Stay strong, Tyson.
Whoa, we're so high up.
I know it's kinda weird for an aquaphobe like me to be working at Trion Tower, but I just love the place so much, man. It's worth it at the end of the day. Alright, Dennis, you got this in the back.
We hope you enjoy your
Hey there,
fill of these
what would you like?
heavenly sights.
Come again.
Good.
What is
What's this?
you?
There's nothing here, right? Except looking?
Trion Tower's observation deck stands 215 arch above ground level, providing a panoramic view of the entire capital.
Later.
We hope you enjoy your fill of these heavenly sights.
Later.
Good goddess, I can't even see the top.
What have we got?
Welcome
Space
to the
investment
Trion
scam.
Mall.
I received a message from someone at a security firm recommending I invest in a particular space company. They said it was for sure going to take off, so I went all in on this thing. Since then, though, I've gotten nothing but radio silence from them, and recently my inbox has been flooded with other investment opportunities. Was I roped into some kind of scam?
Stop by the
I'd like you to
Fern
look into
store
this,
pick up the
and if possible
newest
get my
tea
mirror back.
model.
I'll be waiting for you
Now
by the rest area in the Trion Mall.
Technical support is only an
There's a
hour
force
away,
PG on the
so
bulletin
don't
board.
hesitate to
A
reach out
space
for
business.
assistance.
I'm starting to see a trend here. Yeah, not picking up much of a cent here. But that's fine. Suppose there's no harm in keeping this on the mind.
That's Trion Tower? It's humongous.
Stardust Cinema. Feels like it's been forever since I last came here. Sacred Journey. A tale of a wild nun and a young boy journeying through the wilderness. Well, would you look at that? Judith's in the lead role. She's such a brainless klutz all the time. I forget that she's a famous superstar. Hey, come on, Aaron, that's mean. I'm curious about this Detective Squirrel movie, too. Well, if we're feeling a movie, we can go ahead and see one during our break. Probably won't have the time to catch both of them, though, unfortunately. They both sound so intriguing. I can't decide which I want to see more.
Man, that movie was kick-ass.
Welcome to Stardust Cinema. We operate as a theater complex, a multiplex in other
Screen
words.
2 will be opening its doors shortly. Please keep all T-phones
Basically, this
on
means
silent
we have a
and
wide
enjoy
variety
the
of
film.
screens and movies available for viewing. When it comes to exciting viewing experiences, our 20 location and specialized facilities come highly recommended.
Step right up.
Follow a nun and a young
We're
boy's
playing
journey
right
through
now.
the wilderness. Sacred Journey. See the movie critics are raving about, now in theaters.
I mean, this both looks interesting, but I take the Detective Squirrel.
Thank you for your visit today. Screen 2 will be opening its doors shortly. Please.
Squirrel, a detective renowned the continent over, had solved more than 10 cases in the span of just a few days. Naturally made it clear that such labors had left him quite tired, so his young assistant, Wilson, recommended he take a pleasure trip. The idea was to take a long, leisurely tour across the western half of the continent, aboard a luxury train on the Transcontinental Railroad. Squirrel was quite taken with the idea, immediately reserving tickets for himself and his assistant. Before they knew it, they were on their way. However, as the luck or lack thereof would have it, a murder was afoot in one of the train's many cabins. Squirrel and Wilson, along with 10 or so others in the same train car, found themselves among the potential suspects. As testimonies and evidence piled up, the case became ever more inscrutable. But in the end, it was a minor clue, easily overlooked by a lesser detective that would lead Squirrel to the truth.
And that is how I believe the case unfolded. I do appreciate your cooperation through this tedious explanation of mine.
Oh, astounding. Who would have thought to look for a clue like that in the train schedule of all places?
That's all well and good, but it still doesn't tell us who the perpetrator was.
I don't know what to believe anymore. Who did it? Who killed my husband?
Please calm yourself, madame, for you see, I was not quite finished with my deductions. It is abundantly clear that the victim, Monsieur Gregson, had secretly earned the ire of a great many people. But you see, in the end, his murder is nothing more than a front. A cover for yet another murder hidden from our eyes in the background.
Pardon?
Another murder.
Just so, madame. There is one among our number who was in the unique position of being able to manipulate this entire situation to their advantage. This dastardly fellow also attempted to skew my line of reasoning through the whole investigation, such that I would arrive at the wrong conclusion. Would you not agree, Wilson?
What? Where is this coming from all of a sudden, Squirrel? Surely you can't be implying...
So you intend to feign ignorance, eh? Alas, then you leave me with no choice. You must know, dear Wilson, that for me, this will be the cruelest, most painful truth to have passed my lips.
I didn't really consider it before, but I guess detective work like that is more or less part of your job as a Spriggan, Van. So what would you do if you encountered a locked room murder on a train? Well, even if it wasn't given to me as a 4SPG, I couldn't just ignore it if I was there. I suppose I'd try to sniff around in my own way and see what clues pop out to me. Why do you ask? Well, I was just thinking about what I would do in that scenario as your assistant. The assistant in the movie turned out to be a killer going after Squirrel, though. Well, good thing for me that I don't have to worry about any of you guys trying to stab me in the back like that. Anyhow, back to your question. Your insight and bravery would be a huge help in a case like that. I bet I'd still be leaning on you, even if the same thing that happened in the movie happened in real life. Hearing that makes me happy. After all, this part-time job of mine often requires some serious detective work, and there's no way I could ignore a case like that either, so seeing it play out on screen got me thinking what I'd do in their shoes. At first I thought the solution behind the locked room murder was well done. But now, and maybe it's just me overthinking it, I'm hung up on the specific plausibility of the whole thing. It's not completely outside the realm of possibility, but I can't help but feel the conditions required for it would be difficult to replicate in real life. Ah yeah, makes sense that little details like that would jump out at science-minded folk like you. Plausibility aside, I also thought the way the detective arrived at his deduction of the locked room part was a little contrived. Don't get me wrong though, I still thought the movie was fun and interesting, so I kind of worry I'm taking the fun out of it when I start overthinking and picking apart little details. Nah, putting a movie under the microscope like that can be fun in its own way. You wouldn't do that for something that didn't grab you, right? You know what? You're right. I'm glad you understand, Van. Hey, looks like we're selling commemorative brochures for this movie. Having finished the break, Van and his crew resumed their work. Now, the initial text somehow reminded me of the game Ahead in Time and the mission Murder on the Owl Express, the movie.
One of Edith's major landmarks.
And that game is very silly, actually.
The Vern Store, a movie theater, affordable clothing retailers, and other various boutiques to peruse.
We launched a new styling service that helps customers coordinate personalized outfits complete with accessories and cosmetics. And much to my relief, it's met with critical acclaim. You can't even imagine how satisfying it was to have a top brass at HQ walk back their initial rejection. Of course, a good deal of the credit for this success goes to my head advisor, Najib. I'm lucky he's so on board with the project.
Please, browse to your content.
Welcome to the Trion Mall. Here you'll find Trion Tower, one of Edith's major landmarks. You'll also find the Vern Store, a movie theater, affordable clothing retailers, and other various boutiques to peruse.
I hope you found everything to your liking.
Every corner, we hope you'll have a fabulous time here.
Welcome to the Liberal Boutique.
Thank you so much for agreeing to this impromptu interview. For the headline, I'm thinking the world's very own Supermaid, a deep dive into Lila's success in the uncharted waters of Calvert. Lila. Or Lila?
I feel as though that would be giving me too much credit. Nevertheless, it is truly an honor to have assisted the revered liberal news.
Heck yeah! I'll make this into a front page piece guaranteed. Oh, by the way, do you mind if I take some photos of the store's interior too?
By all means.
Hello, Lila. Looks like somebody's keeping busy. Made a change of wardrobe too, even? If I'm remembering right, you wore a more casual maid getup back at the Aramis Academy Festival. It's been quite some time since I've done a vintage-style dress like this. That reporter came all the way from my home country of Libel to cover the space program. As such, when she offered to interview me, I dusted this off to wear doing it, as well as my upcoming business trip. I knew you used to be an actual maid, but damn, who knew you'd rock with it this hard? Compared to my uniform, seeing that on a true professional is a night and day difference. It totally puts the dress and dress for the job. I feel much the same way. So rewinding a bit, you mentioned a business trip? Yes, a while ago, a connection of mine reached out to me over a particular matter. Starting tomorrow, I'll be away from Edith for a few days to attend to it. Oh really? That's a bit sudden. Interesting timing. Wonder what that matter and who that connection could be. I apologize for any inconveniences this may cause, but rest assured the store will be in good hands during my absence. I hope to still have your continued patronage. Yeah, of course.
Imports from Liberl have been all...
I will be departing to attend to certain matter. This classic matrix I pulled out for the occasion is met with such acclaim, however, but I miss it all the more. Guess I should wear it in the boutique again once my business is over and done with.
I'm quite proud of what we have to offer.
A pair of shoes with a falcon motif?
We'll be looking forward to your next visit.
At the end of the day, just can't go wrong with an old-fashioned maid dress. And I got my hands on some headline-grabbing intel to boot. Calvert really is a treasure trove of material. I'm dying to cover that space show outside. My big shot radar's tingling too. Time to take this field reporting to the offensive. So she's a journalist from the Liberal News, huh? One sinking her teeth in left and right, apparently. Maria's go-getter crown may be in danger.
Welcome to the Trion Mall. Here you'll find Trion Tower, one of Edith's major landmarks. You'll also find the Vern Store, a movie
Please,
theater,
take your time.
affordable clothing retailer,
Over half a year has passed since the Quincy Company's tumult first began. It would appear, though, that all the reforms adopted since are bearing fruit. Even headquarters has been regained its past performance.
technical support is only an ask away. So
What's more, establishment's customer count is also on the rise. They're keeping quite busy now owing to that.
Welcome.
Recipe.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Can I interest you in some space-themed merchandise?
you'll find Trion
Take
Tower,
all the time you
one of
need.
Edith's major landmarks. You'll also find
Just
the Vern
because
Store,
you
Seeing
look
you.
like a shop that might disappear.
affordable clothing retailers, and other various boutiques to peruse. Newly opened this year is the Liberl Boutique, your one-stop
Welcome.
shop for in-
How can I help you? Please come again.
Be sure to check out their extensive selection. From the ZCF's latest innovations.
Attention all Trion Mall visitors, we thank you for your patience. Our space talk show, sponsored by Project Startaker, will begin momentarily. In it, we'll be delving into the hot button topic of a space program in a fun, digestible way. Now, allow me to introduce our two lovely hosts and ambassadors of Project Startaker. It's the up-and-coming hit idol duo Vega. Give them a hand, folks. Hi everyone, I'm Rachel from Vega. We'll make this a day you'll never forget. And I'm Julia. I'm so glad you all could make it. Before we begin the show, we'll be performing one of our most popular numbers. Get ready for Planet Rain! Damn, people are getting really pumped up over this, huh? Feels like idols really have been gaining traction lately. This particular duo quickly rose to fame after being selected as the space program's ambassadors. That said, they weren't the original choices. You've got to be kidding me. That should be us up there. Looks like there's more to this than meets the eye.
Oh, is that Van and his helpers I spy?
Charit? What the? Wait, that's... Prince Charit and the CID too?
What a fortuitous turn of events. I certainly wasn't anticipating your presence here. Could this be a sign, or a blessing even, from Arusha herself?
Or perhaps it's merely the result of how many ties we have in common.
So what's the Crown Prince of Elsam doing with the CID's flying swallow? Let me guess, conducting a sneak peek of a space program? And where'd your usual bodyguard go?
She's serving as my sister's security detail while she's off traveling about. In her stead, Miss Second Lieutenant here is keeping a hawk's eye on my surroundings for me.
Frankly, I'm still at a loss for words. Never in my life did I expect to escort a prince to an idol show, not to mention in such an open space, and without even clearing the perimeter.
You'll have to excuse my fondness for the energizing ambiance of these live shows. Besides, we needn't worry about snipers or assassins. After all, every pair of eyes, nefarious or no, are set on President Gramhart and his space program.
You might be right about that. I take it the CID's been stretched thin. Seems like you're being pushed into funneling all your focus into the space program, internal factions aside.
Perceptive as always. I, in particular, am in no position to turn down requests from the President.
Oh. She must be referring to the coup of 3 months ago that never came to be. In that respect, it's only a matter of time before every member of the CID is roped into the project. Speaking personally, to call it quite the blow to my pride would be an understatement. So basically, you're taking the chance to squeeze in a little information exchange with people on the outside before that happens. I'm still not past how weird it is seeing a top-run government big shot reduced to a pawn on the chessboard. Although Elsham is complying with a request to restrict flight south of the Ishgal Mountains, a line in the sand has clearly been drawn. Once again, I found myself struck with awe over President Gramhart's prowess and unyielding passion for this project. In more ways than one. There's no need for you to feel guilty on our account. Moreover, regardless of my station, I will always strive to give everything my best and fullest efforts. Doing so aligns with his principles as well. Right, and that's something I refuse to compromise on as well. Regarding that unrealized coup, I'm committed to doing whatever I can to not only atone for the mistakes I made there, but grow from them too. Wow, good on you. Sheesh. A certain someone else I know would probably say the same in your shoes. You CID bunch sure cut from the same cloth. Anyway, I game to keep working together where it makes sense if you are. I can make no guarantees, but so long as our interests continue to align, I'd be happy to do so. The same applies for us in Elsham. I've no doubt we will be relying on you as well in the future, Van. Oh my, such positively electric energy. The rock concert I saw with Van before was exhilarating for certain, but this is beyond compare. If you excuse me, I feel a sudden inclination to make up for lost fun from back then. Wait, Your Highness, I would really advise against mingling with a crowd. Then why not accompany me, if it perturbs you so? Come, let's partake in this glow stick dancing I've heard so much about. I'll admit I don't entirely envy the second lieutenant right now. Feels like he's loosened up a bit recently. Guy resembles the debaucherous prince more every time I see him. Indeed, though whether that's a good or bad thing is up for debate. The CID is mobilizing all the personnel it can muster to make the space program a success. A vast majority of them, however, are mere pawns, no more than a fraction know the full picture. To be more specific, at this point, a certain someone may be even more cognizant of the details than I, his superior. Only one guy comes to mind. Well, in any event, neither your obligations nor ours have changed. All we can do for the moment is our utmost. I wish you the best in your endeavors as well.
Now available for purchase. Technical support is only an ask away, so don't hesitate to reach out for assistance.
Go, go, Vega. Shake it, shake it, shake it. How delightfully quaint. This manner of rousing the spirit differs quite a bit from the rock concert I watched with Van. Your Highness, please try to keep some distance. I underestimate the reports of Prince Reed's frivolous light-hearted ways. It has me wondering when I'll be assigned to more personally suitable duties.
Welcome to the Trion Mall.
But never mind that. No matter how my position shifts, I still have an obligation to fulfill as a CID member.
You'll also find the Vern Store, a movie theater, affordable clothing retailers, and other various boutiques to peruse.
Thank you, Trion Mall. Now, on to the last song in our set. There's still some time left before talk show, so let's spend it turning up our minds to the starry skies. Ooh, we love you, Vega! This can't be right. How could the show's program be changed at the last minute? We were told this was going to be our gig, but now we are pulling the rug from under us? And after all our hard work too? Don't make me repeat myself, the decision was based on a comprehensive assessment. It's true that your accomplishments played a role in giving idols more visibility, but for this project we're going with a more promising pair, the one we've spent a greater amount of training. That's our company policy as stated. And like I'm stating, what kind of dictatorship are you people running here? Besides, we never even heard of those two in the running for this, not a word. I believe those girls are the idol duo with you. Apparently they were once originally scheduled to host today's event. Yeah, sounds like a talent agency pulled a my way or the highway on them. Doing PR for Project Startaker, a big job, so I get banking on the sure thing. Don't make it any less unfair though. They told us we could be in charge of a space program event, so we bust our butts preparing, but no, just not fair.
Welcome to the Trion Mall.
I didn't notice Vega making a name for themselves last month, snatching our gig right from under us, well, on the day off even. It all happened so fast.
A movie theater.
You always knew our agency could be like this sometimes, but this beyond the pale. Yeah, this gotta suck.
With trendy excitement around every corner, we hope you'll have a fabulous time here.
Anyway, Johannes, you were our quest NPC. Are you the Johannes with posters for 4SPG? Does that mean you're the Spriggan? I'm so glad the rumors were true, I can finally have some hope. You said something about getting caught up in an investment scam? Honestly, I'm not sure if 4SPG is the right fit. Well, we're here out at the very least. So you gave all your investment money to a guy who claimed to be working for a security firm? Yes, he said that Stellar Tech, a business with ties to the Vaughn company, was going public soon. He was very enthusiastic when he recommended that I buy stock. Seeing as it was related to the space program, he told me the paperwork would be more complex than usual. Which is why he volunteered to act as my agent for the deposit. And then he went cold turkey on you, and to add insult to injury, you attracted a swarm of scammers, all out to suck you dry. Sounds like you were careless. Of course, it's obvious looking back on it, but at the time, I guess I was just caught up in the space program favor. It ain't uncommon for those sorts of scammers to ride the wave of big events. The fact that you've got more suspicious folk coming after you means they probably added you to a list of potential marks. One question, why come to us? Why not go to the guild or the police? Ah yes, well, I really need the mirror back now. Without it, I won't be able to make ends meet. Using the police would add a whole bunch of hoops to jump through. That's why I came to you. Is this not the sort of case you handle? Honestly, I don't buy the reasoning. What about you, then? It's true that this is more suited to the police line of work, but it might be worth doing. Just consider it another thing falling through the cracks, thanks to the space program. Indeed, this could be a chance to get a better look at the influence the space program has on the economy, both on the surface and in the shadows. Alright, this ain't exactly in our wheelhouse, but we'll handle it. Really? Thank you so much. You said the company they wanted you to invest in was Stellar Tech, right? Makes you wonder if a company even exists, huh? I have heard the name before. I think it's even related to the Vaughn company too. But I never heard anything about them looking for investors. If even Kato hasn't heard of it, then the whole thing might really be a big load of horse shit. Space Tech, right? Did they say exactly which part the company was in charge of? Yes, the satellite. It was launched the other day. I was told they have a patent related to its core technology. And since they expect more space projects in the future, they decided to go public during Project Startaker to enjoy explosive stock prices. A patent for satellite technology. Marduk is the one that holds the patents for the satellite used in Project Startaker. Not that some of the parts and observation equipment didn't come from a Vaughn company and affiliates. Regardless of whether or not they're looking for investors, the company itself does exist. Which means we ought to be careful when looking into things so as not to disrupt their business. Then we need to determine exactly what's a lie and what's not, in terms of a technology, a patent and the investment opportunity. But maybe we should start here at the Trion Mall. You should be able to learn more about Stellar Tech at the Vaughn store. There's Vale's investment bank as well. They should be able to give us insight not only on Stellar Tech trading, but maybe even some information on Marduk. Right, then let's start with that. If it really is a scam, then we'll deal with it in the usual way after that. They're both right over there, so let's start asking questions. You're not wasting any time, thank you truly. I'm hoping that your search will be fruitful.
Time to get to work.
Good.
Can I interest you in some space-themed merchandise?
Now, regarding the situation with the Valves Fund.
This window offers guidance, advice, and information for financial instruments of all sorts. Unsurprisingly, the most frequent inquiries at present are those that pertain to space-related enterprises. It's a hot industry right now, and prices can fluctuate wildly, so be sure to carefully consider any potential purchases.
Pardon me.
You want to know about Stellar Tech? Yeah, we got reason to believe someone might be using their name without permission. We want to learn more detailed information about the company to be sure. We would appreciate anything you could tell us about investment and stock trends. And it would be most useful if you could also confirm their possible involvement with Marduk's satellite technology. Firstly, Stellar Tech has not taken their stock public, and there are no plans to do so at this time. They were originally established by the Vaughn Company internally to handle development of specific technologies. That's because it was established to meet the demands of Project Startaker. The company is heavily subsidized by the government in addition to being financed by the Vaughn Company. In other words, there's no need for them to solicit investment through stocks at this time. I see, then using the name for a money-making scheme doesn't really make sense. And what about the satellite technology? At the very least, I can confirm that they don't hold any patents for the satellite systems. They did, however, develop a material used in the satellite in cooperation with Marduk. I heard the Vaughn Company has also been developing observation technology in addition to equipment for the rocket. However, the overall satellite framework has been outsourced to and fully developed by Marduk. That's completely different from the story Johannes was told. Yeah, we've heard plenty, sorry for all the questions. That's quite alright, it was a request by Miss Twining after all.
Now, regarding the situation with the Valves Fund.
Welcome to the Trion Mall. Here you'll find Trion Tower, one of Edith's major landmarks. You'll also
All the rockets, I gotta admit that kind of tech is mind-blowing. Obviously as an engineer, there'd still be a lot left for me to learn in that field. But there's something appealing about working in space development.
Well, what do you have?
Here is the Liberal Boutique, your one-stop shop for imports direct.
A handheld vacuum cleaner.
Be sure to check out their extensive selection, from the ZCF's latest innovations to luxury wines and acerbic tomatoes.
Come again. What do you have?
I'm tempted to buy another one, just because there's...
Come
We
again.
currently don't have much in terms of accuracy increasing stuff. Buy yourself a T-phone, you can watch the outer space broadcast right in the palm of your hand. We now carry them in additional colors at the lowered retail price of 15,000 lira, down from 20,000. It's quite an exorbitant purchase in my opinion, but one well worth the expense.
And other various boutiques to peruse.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Arts driver.
Store and pick up the newest T-phone model, now available for purchase. Technical support is only an ask away, so don't hesitate to reach out for assistance.
And plugins.
Please stop by again. Welcome. Please stop by again.
Okay.
Got a question for you.
Stellar Tech. Yes, it appears there are rumors going around that Stellar Tech is going public. But you haven't heard anything about that at Vaughn, have you? No, not at all. Stellar Tech was established by Vaughn in conjunction with the space program, and they consolidated assets from different sectors. The company is really a focused project team, so I find it hard to imagine them going public on their own. It's probably worth pointing out that since they're involved in the space program, the establishment has probably been kept under wraps. Yes, it was privately set up to effectively develop technology for the program. There's no way they would be advertising in order to solicit investments. That said, their name has been mentioned by the Vaughn Group in their public-facing materials, among other places. Yeah, we did see them listed on Vaughn's website. But it was nothing more than that. It didn't stand out in the least. Which means they're not widely known. Compared to more famous corporations, it's harder to get a beat on them. And since Vern got them on their side, people are more likely to feel like they can trust it. And that's what the culprit's banking on, huh? Still, it only takes a little bit of digging to realize the inconsistencies. Do not get the sense that the culprit is overly familiar with either Stellar Tech or the space program. Yep, it seems like they're coasting entirely on name recognition and hype. Is it true that the company holds patents related to the satellite's core technology? No, Marduk is the one that's taking the lead when it comes to the development of the satellites. It's true that the Vern company provided some of the auxiliary hardware and raw materials, but they wouldn't have patents on anything that could be considered core technology. As it happens, Stellar Tech developed a special heat-resistant material used to protect satellite parts. Oh, I suppose that does make sense. I heard that temperatures in space can change by over 200 degrees between day and night. Heat resistance is probably indispensable. Well, we learned what we needed to about Stellar Tech's position within the Vern company. I know you're busy, but thank you for taking the time to talk to us. It's my pleasure. Given the current situation lends itself to a variety of troubles, I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm happy to have been of assistance. Okay, we've gathered enough info. Yes, the investment opportunity was a complete fabrication. It would be best if we could catch the scammers now, if only to protect the good name of Stellar Tech. Gotta say, there's way more holes in their sales pitch than I thought. Exactly, the scammers clearly knew next to nothing about Stellar Tech. The name might as well have been pulled out of a hat. Like Van said, it's probably because next to nobody knows about it, and there's a wave of space program hype. So you think the culprit doesn't know what he's talking about either? Seems that way, and now that he's got our client added to his list of marks, he told other solicitors. My guess is that he's the type to work across a wide and shallow pool. For a swindle like this, he's not likely to do a lot of research. When asking technical questions to trip them up eventually, someone from a real brokerage would at least know about an industry's inner workings. Yeah, if we can get them to make a mistake, and we have sufficient proof. Seems like meeting up with them might actually be the quickest way to go. Let's get that contact info from the client. I see you're interested in space-related investments. I must say, you certainly got a keen eye for opportunity. Stellar Tech in particular is certain to see its stock price surge in the future, thanks to being contracted to develop the satellite. I thought it might be the case, but I heard that with the announcement of a space program, buying stocks might have extra complications. Oh, you can just leave that to me. Simply send us a memo and we make sure everything goes smoothly. Oh, perfect. I'd love to hear the details. Then how about we meet up in the Center Marche's west area to discuss everything? I prepare all the necessary documentation and contract, and we can get everything taken care of right away. Great, I'll head over now. Ha! Sounds like he fell for it. Now all we gotta do is push until he slips up. Let's hurry to the meeting point.
Let's do this. Hey there. How's business treating?
Up here.
Check out my selection.
Want to go watch the next launch?
Excuse me, we spoke about the investment opportunity? That voice. You must be the gentleman I was just talking to on the phone. I've been waiting for you. Shall we get started? So you see, Stellar Tech is poised to be the pioneer in innovation. In consideration of this, our firm has decided to elicit investments for this up-and-coming company. As a part of our services, we'll even handle all the transactions and such on your behalf. Just like the client said. From the way he's talking, there's probably other victims out there too. When it's about time we make our move. Here goes nothing. You don't mind if I ask a few questions, do you? Not at all. Please ask whatever you'd like. Now then, how do I use the information we've got to make him expose himself as a fraud? Maybe I ask about... Is it a company involved in rocket development? No, they specialize in satellite-related technology. The rocket itself was researched by the Institute of Science and constructed for the Aerospace Force. So he at least knows that much. If we're going public, then Stellar Tech must have shown off some kind of tech. Could you tell me more about what we're making? Ah, yes, certainly. Of course, we are very aware. It's the satellites... But there are many different parts, such as frames construction, reaction control system, communication devices, and so on. Happen to know the frame in particular is being made by the Marduk company. So which part of the satellite's technology was developed by Stellar Tech in particular? It was, let me see, ah yes, the main engine. Prometheus 4 does not have a main engine, it only has a reaction control device. Final orbit is achieved via an apogee kick motor connected to the fairing. To the best of my knowledge, Stellar Tech was working on something related to insulation. Yes, that's right, it's for insulation, to protect the satellite from the heat of a rocket's propulsion. No, the fairing is what's protecting the satellite from the heat of a rocket and the atmospheric friction. Stellar Tech was working on a cover to guard the precision equipment against the variable temperature and space. This industry got everything's eyes on it, so how could you not know about technology that's been made public? My apologies, just that there's so much technological information, got a little confused. May I ask a question as well? Please do. Just when is Stellar Tech going public? We believe it will be sometime this month. Then shouldn't there have been a heads up at the beginning of this fiscal year? But timing is suspiciously close to start Taker's announcement. I can't help but feel it's a little too early considering they were involved in a national security project. They may have been considering it in anticipation of a public unveiling of Project Startaker. But at that stage the initial satellite wouldn't even have launched, wouldn't have been able to prove themselves. But even now, no one knows how the schedule might fluctuate. Just yesterday, the second launch was moved up, and there seems to be only more undisclosed information about the project. How can they really go public at a time like this? It seems to me that they would wait until the project is completed and they've already proven themselves before looking to the future. Unfortunately, I don't actually work for Stellar Tech. It appears to me that you doubt this investment opportunity, in which case perhaps this business venture simply isn't for you. Why are you in such a hurry to leave? We're not finished yet. We actually have a few more questions we need to ask, such as what your relationship is with Marduk and so on. You know, I don't think we've even asked the name of your brokerage firm yet. You can tell us that much, can't you? It's Keith Securities. Gotcha. Then we just have to ask your company the rest of our questions directly. Hold on a second, why is there getting no hits for any brokerage with that name? You bastard, buddy. You damn swindler. If you really wanted to fool us, then you should have done your research. So this is how it ends, huh? Now, we wouldn't mind just turning you in to the police. But we were actually asked to get back Mira. So why don't we make a deal? Instead of us selling you to people who are a lot scarier than police, you just return the Mira you took from Johannes. Just what do you intend to do with me? Now, technically the CID wouldn't be bothered by that all that much. Also, we're busy, but he does know that's how it works. However, Marduk is being slandered here a bit by connection, right? What you're doing is kinda interfering with both the Vaughn Company and Marduk. And from what I hear, Marduk's been collecting criminals as part of a danger management initiative. Who knows what kind of experiments they're carrying out? Some bluff, there's no way someone like you is in touch with Pardon the late introduction, but I work as a concierge for the Marduk Company. If I make the arrangement, there'll be no trouble taking you into custody and finding an appropriate use for you. What? Alright, fine. I'll return the mirror I took. Could please turn me over to the police? You got yourself a deal. The group then watched as the scammer took the mirror from his account and passed it over to Van. Once that was done, they immediately handed him over to the police. Probably missed 1 SP for Kato's question? I simply cannot thank you enough. It's hard to believe you were able to get all my money back for me. If we couldn't do that much, then nobody's bother coming to us instead of a police or guild. We've taken brief notes about Stellar Tech and the scam artist and provided them to you. I hope they will be of help. Yeah, just try not to do something this careless again, alright? Getting a name passed around by scammers as an easy mark is just lame. If you're going to invest, then make sure you do your due diligence and don't be so quick to believe the promises of strangers. Keep that in mind and things will get better for you. You got me there. Well, take this lesson to heart and make sure you keep your wits about you. Especially during booms like these. Oh, I will. I have definitely learned my lesson. Well, now that I've got my mirror back, I should deposit it as soon as I can. Thanks again. Oh, it's a good thing we managed to solve this. But this was just a regular old scam. Indeed, the man was so kind to pull a wide variety of grifts without taking the time to do the research. Does not appear to have anything to do with the current situation. That said, it's nice that we were able to confirm that Marduk and the Vern Company are both related to the project. And that there's no room for outsiders to weasel their way into the tech development. Could be useful information when it comes to future space program related problems. Which means it wasn't all for nothing. Now let's get back to it.
That's one job behind us.
Reward deposited.
Low up. Chaos up. Thank you so much. Learned my lesson. From now on, no more investing until I've done my research and look before leaping.
Welcome to the Trion Mall.
Let's roll, gang.
One thing I want to check before...
How's that project coming along?
Will this quest move the time forward? They usually give a warning if that's the case. Looks like the unlock code's been updated. Yeah, that's how to do it. There's a dangerous monster here, I can feel it. That'll be the reason why this place hasn't been cleaned out in a good long while. Oh wait, just for caution's sake, before we start our search, if you want to adjust your orbments, just let me know. I can help with that whenever you need. Thank you, Katra. There's something I want to test out here, but for now, let's press on. You can now customize orbments from the main menu. With Katra's cooperation, you can modify orbments at any time. Alright.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Can just...
Shifting to maintenance mode. Modifying your orbment, are you?
There we are.
Modifying your orbment, are you?
Alright.
Engaging enemy!
Show them what you're really capable of!
There! Now!
That'll complete. Let's hurry on ahead.
Looks like we've already run into some garbage that needs cleaning. Wasn't there something you mentioned earlier you wanted to try, Van? Yeah, truth is, There's another new function we didn't get to try out during the training at Marduk HQ. Seems like I'm the only one in our current group who can manage it though. It's called Awakening. Oh, sounds pretty strong. And you're planning to test it out on these enemies here? Yep, that's the plan. Figure I'd best give it a trial one sooner or later. In any case, all the other new shard functions work just like I told you guys. Follow my lead and try not to get left behind. Got it? Understood. About Awakening. Some characters, including Vaughn, can use their ciphers to temporarily draw out latent power that lies deep within them. During field battles, this can have effects such as increasing attack power or slowly recovering HP. Additionally, after entering a command battle, you'll start a fight with each character's self-buffing craft activated for one turn. Press both sticks to use Awakening. In Vaughn's case, this will activate his Key Gong technique, Heated Stance. Not only will it increase his speed and attack power, but it will also gradually fill his HP. Activating requires at least 3 filled boost gauges. And they slowly go down when you use it.
Looks like the gang's all here.
Shit. Hell you jacked up on?
I've got you! So this is Awakening. His energy readings are off the charts.
Keep your distance as you're attacking. I'll give it my best.
Take this!
Alright.
Huh. So this power comes from within, huh?
Van, I would caution against repeated use, given how it depletes your stamina levels.
If you're ever feeling tired, just hang back and we'll take the wheel.
Red Pendulum. It's actually decently. Good, but I would end the episode here, and we continue exploring the dungeon next time. Until then, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.